Hey y'all, I wanted to show you kind of how to go through Edmentum once you've logged in through Clever. So the first thing is, once you've logged into Clever, you clicked the Edmentum icon, you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. And it's going to say, welcome, are you in class? I want you to go ahead and click the no button because we're not actually in class. You're going to be at home working on this. So it's the first thing, you'll click no every time. Next, you'll come to a screen like this. The top of this is a little cut off, so yours might look a little bit different at the top. I want you to notice on the right side of the screen, this is where you'll be able to see messages and alerts from your teacher. You can look here to see if they want you to know anything for that day or that week. You can look here. You can also be looking in your Google Classroom. Most of your teachers will post messages there. Then on the left side of the screen is where you're going to actually see your classes. So this first box for this student has science with Mrs. Buchanan, and then in the second box they have their ELAR class right here with Miss Evans. So these are your different classes. Right here is actually a bar. You'd click this little blue bar and scroll down to see your other classes. That's the only way you'll be able to see it. So this is the way to scroll through the left side of your screen. I'm going to click over to the next slide, and it's going to be this exact same page, but it's going to have you focus in on a different button. So, here we go. So same screen, here's your classes, science class here, ELAR class here, but notice there's a button, and it was on the other slide too. This button under science says continue, and the button under ELAR says select new activity. You'll see both of those buttons, and you're going to see the select new activity button whenever you have not started the lesson at all. So it's your first time to click into the lesson, you'll see this. You will see the continue button if you already began the lesson. So it's kind of the cool thing about Edmentum is you can start a lesson one day and work for say 20 minutes and then exit and save. And when you do that, it saves exactly where you were. So when you come back into Edmentum, you can click continue and you will automatically go back to that exact same spot that you were at. So that's the difference between the buttons. If you see continue, it means you started. If you see select new activity, it just means you haven't begun yet. So we're going to do this from the point of view that you've not started at all. So tomorrow or on Monday when you begin Edmentum, your classes should say, most of them, select new activity. So you'll click that and it will take you to this screen. And I've cut a little bit off the top again. But when you come to here, you'll see student orientation video that you can click. And if you click this right here, it's got a little bit more of an in-depth video about how to use Edmentum. It's about 5 minutes long, and it's going to go through some features of Edmentum that I'm not going to, like how to look at how your grades are and how much you've completed these things. It'd be a good idea to go ahead and watch that before you really begin. And then if you continue looking, you'll see week 1, week 2, week 3 below that. Notice that after week 1, because next week is week 1, April 27th through May 1st, you'll notice that week 2 and week 3 are locked. You will not be able to work ahead in Edmentum. So if you finish week 1 by, say, Wednesday of this week, you're done with science or ELAR or whatever class that is. You cannot move ahead to the next week. So for this week, on Monday, April 27th, you'll click week 1 to begin doing your tutorials and mastery tests. The tutorial is just the lesson. It's basically what we do in class as a lesson, and the mastery test is a test. So when you get into Edmentum, you'll click week 1 here, and it will take you to this screen. It'll open up a box that says plate tectonics. That's going to be the first topic for this for distance learning is plate tectonics. You will click here and then it will take you to this screen. It will open up 2 different things. It'll open plate tectonics tutorial and it will open plate tectonics mastery test. You must go through the tutorial first. You have to complete the entire tutorial before it will let you take the mastery test. If you notice, the mastery test is locked. It will not remove this lock icon until you finish the whole tutorial. I do want you to know that it also shows the teacher how long you spent on the tutorial, whether you just clicked through or whether you spent time on each slide. And it does calculate a grade based on the time you spent on the tutorial as well as how well you do on questions it asks during the tutorial. So you'll need to click the tutorial first every time you start a new week, and then it will take you to a screen that looks kind of like this. And you'll notice at the top kind of right hand side there's an arrow button, and there's also an arrow to go back. So this is your forward and back button through the slides. You'll notice it tells you how many slides there are. This one does have a lot. There will be slides that have you read things. There will be slides that have you answer questions, slides that have videos, slides that have you write things. You're going to go through the entire thing. It'll let you move forward or backward as needed. If for any reason you are not going to finish the whole thing at once, because that's likely that you won't do all 44 at once, that's a lot, you can save and exit. And when you come back in, like I said, you click that continue button when you log back into Edmentum, and it will take you back to the exact same slide you were on. On the right side, the left side of the screen, you'll notice some different icons that you can use during the tutorial. I went ahead and labeled a few of the ones I thought you might actually use. So there's the table of contents. It'll kind of show you where you're at in the tutorial. There's different sections. There's a notepad if you just want to take a few notes while you're watching and reading. There's a dictionary so you can look words up. This one's really important, the read aloud option. There's a setting when you click this little guy with the speaking lines that allows you to turn on a setting that lets you click a sentence and it will read it to you. So if you like to have things read to you, you're probably going to want to go in here and turn that on. There's a translate button. So if you want something translated to Spanish or to English or to a bunch of other languages, you can do that. There is a calculator and there is a highlighter. So you'll probably want to use some of those options as you go through this tutorial. Again, you can choose to do all the slides at once, finish the mastery test, and be done with science if you want in a day. You can also choose to spend a certain amount of time each day on science or math or ELAR, whatever it is, if you choose to do it that way. So whatever works best for you. All right, so once you finish the tutorial, it's going to look like this. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a screen. Once you finish the tutorial, what I want you to know is you can go back and click on the mastery test. If you get an 80 or higher, you're finished for the week. You're done with the tutorial. You're done with the mastery test. You're complete. If you score below an 80, Edmentum is going to lock you out of that mastery test, and you have to go back through the tutorial and then retake the test. You can retake the test 3 times, but every single time that you go to retake it, you have to redo the tutorial first. To make this a little easier, because it is a lot, I know that, I will, during the week, be posting notes into Google Classroom, kind of like my anchor charts, my posters in the room that I have up. You can use those notes on the test. If you are using a computer or a tablet or a phone, just open another tab with Google Classroom. Go look at the notes that are posted there, and then go back to the tab with the mastery test to answer questions if you need to. So you will have those notes to help you. If you have a printer, you're welcome to print the notes also. If you have any questions, you can message me in Google Classroom. You can email me. I am going to do tutorials a few days a week to where you can hop on to ask questions about what we're learning. You can hop on to ask questions if you're confused about how to use Edmentum, any of those things. So you can be looking out for that. And good luck getting through this. If you need any help, be sure to get a hold of one of your teachers. Okay, thanks. Bye.